don't remember which one I had it on. Not that one. Not that one. Should be this, but my camera's not on. What's going on, guys? We got the camera. Give me a second to get it right. Top left.
Here we go.
There we go. What's going on, guys?
Go Brownies. Let's make it a good night.
Yep, it's going to be an interesting one, guys. We're back. This is Brownie Post Game Season 3.
Yeah.
We are live. We're
Number 1.
We're together. We're watching the draft.
Got our new t-shirts on.
Yeah, we got the new homage t-shirts. They came through with Season 3 apparel. We're going to be doing some giveaways tonight, guys. So if you want the Believe Land shirt, if you want the Joe Thomas shirt, they gave me permission to give away 3 tonight. So one of them I'm giving away on Twitter. So if you find the tweet that I did earlier, and I will just retweet it and tag so you get a chance to win there. And then also by hanging out here, you got that too. So round 1, I'll move this over so we can read the chat, everybody. Looks like it's about to kick off. Can you read it over here or no?
I can, yeah. I can stream, but I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I could look at my phone too if I had to.
I don't know what type of entertainment we're watching right here for the draft. I don't want to turn on the volume because I feel like we'll get flagged if we get the volume turned on. From YouTube. I don't want to get turned off. But when the picks come on, I'll turn on the volume so we can listen to the picks.
Right.
Yeah, we're happy to be back. This is going to be a good season. My dad and I were talking about this earlier, and it really seems like it's going to be an interesting draft, right?
Right. I don't think there's overhyped this year like we were a year, 2 years ago, where we had Odell and we thought we were going to run away with it and whatnot, and then we got crushed by the Titans, and then we got crushed by Baltimore. New coach, new season, upgraded players. We're looking pretty good. I think we're with Clowney coming on board. I mean, we have a lot of expectations. I'm sure you guys do as well. I think the first 3 or 4 games of the season is going to set the stage. And, if we go 1-3, it's going to be a huge disappointment. If we go 3-1, that's a good start. Depending on who we play, the schedule doesn't come out until May 12th. Then we'll know who we get first, who we get second. Do we get a Thursday night game? I went back and I looked at, sitting in Southern Florida and nothing to do. I was watching the Cincinnati game on Thursday night after we got drubbed by Baltimore. And we earned it. I mean, it came out on a short week and we beat Cincinnati. They played okay. We played much better. It was a closer game than it shouldn't have been. Baker threw a pick, but they had drives where they just went down the field and ran it down Cincinnati's throat time and time again with Chubb and then Hunt back and forth, 11, 20, 10 yards, 6 yards, and Baker was throwing pretty good strikes except for that interception. And, in the end, we won the game, fairly solidly, I guess. But still, it should have been a cakewalk. But to win that game on a short week and then get some extra days off, and I can't remember who we played in the third game, but we won that game too. And then I think we won our 4th game. So we were 4-1, and some of the games were maybe closer than they should have been. We score 48 points and we win by 2 or whatever. And that set the stage for the rest of the season. There was no lead that was safe with us. I mean, we just found ways to let Dallas get back in the game. Let other people get back in the game. And then we had nail biters. We had how many onside kicks at the end of the game that do we have to suffer through?
Just ridiculous.
Yeah. So, but it all started with that lousy season in 2000. I guess it was 16, and then we got the first pick, and we took Miles after that, and we've been on the uptick ever since we got Miles Garrett. He set the tone. We took a little bit of a setback in the 2019 draft. I think we got Greedy Williams, but he didn't do anything. I mean, he's been non-existent. So Mike and I were totally excited when we got Greedy Williams at, I forget what his pick was. I think
somewhere in the second round.
Yeah, he was 46. He was 40. He fell to 46, and
we had to trade up to get him too.
Yeah, so I mean that was a disappointment. But then after that, we hit the jackpot with the next one with Baker and Chubb and Ward, all in the same draft, and then Dorsey got Hunt to top it off. I mean, that was a great draft, and those players have turned out to be really, really good players for us.
Ara's asking, who do you want us to pick? Who's your choice?
I don't have a personal choice. I just want a impact player. And the point I was trying to make with all that lead up as far as the prior drafts and so forth, and then last year we got Wills, which was a great addition. But going back to the Miles Garrett pick that year, when we look back at the one before that, the 2016, there's only one guy that we've drafted that's still on the team from 2016. Or maybe there's two. No, from the 2016 draft. Of all those people we drafted and all the players on the team, and who do you think that one player is that's still on the team that's a fairly, well-known player too?
Njoku?
Nope.
In 2016?
2016 he was drafted. I didn't think you would know, because I didn't know until I saw it on the, I Googled a bunch of stuff for tonight.
I can't even remember who was drafted in 2016. So when was Miles draft? 2017?
17.
So the 2016 draft would have been...
And it wasn't our top pick in 16 either. So it was I don't know, it was third round, whatever, maybe fourth round, but he's still...
Then I have no idea.
Rashad Higgins.
It is Higgins, yeah. Ara got it right. Yeah.
So that was amazing. I was really shocked at that. But that shows you the transition that in 2006, there's only one player on the team from 2016. That's amazing. But that Miles Garrett pick was the turnaround. The Baker one was obviously you need a quarterback, and you go from there. It was just got to give Dorsey a lot of credit. Andrew Berry's done a great job, I think, since he's taken over. And tonight is a litmus test. In my opinion, this is one of the more unique drafts that we've seen over the last maybe 15 years. Most of those 15 years, we were in the top 10.
Right.
Because the year before we were terrible. And we kept getting 1, 5, 7, 1, 5, 7. I mean, it was just, the Greedy Williams one was unusual. That maybe that was because we traded away our number one pick that year, and that's why we were so far down. But and Michael and I looked at analysis of who you pick at 26, and there's not a lot of,
it's not good.
Not a lot of quality players you get at 26, even though it's the middle or towards the end of the first round. But this draft is not your typical pick at 26 and get a mediocre player. And the reason I say that is because I think there's going to be, the first four are going to be quarterbacks. And if they go, and then you'll have a fifth one, maybe it's Fields, maybe it's Jones, who knows who the fifth one's going to be. So you've reduced us. We're now, instead of picking 26, we're really picking 21.
Right.
And then if you throw in the fact that you don't need a wide receiver, you don't need a running back, you don't need a tight end, you don't need an offensive lineman per se. So, and some of those are going to be picked after those quarterbacks are picked. So that increases the odds of us getting a player without trading up whose quality that's going to be maybe a 15 or an 18 or something like that, depending on how things drop.
Yep.
So this is different than any draft I've been experiencing over the last maybe 15 years. And it's nice to be a solid contender going forward and still have a reasonably good pick, even starting out at 26, because of the way these quarterbacks are being touted and desired and fawned over. And, two additional things that are going to play into this are all those people that want to trade up that we're going to hear about in the first round after these quarterbacks are gone.
Yep.
And that's going to throw everything in a jumble. And then if you throw us into the mix, meaning if we see somebody that we really want and we want to trade up from 26 to 15 or 12 or whatever we have to give up to get to the person that we really want, that's going to play into this whole mix as well.
Absolutely.
I think there's a 75-25 chance that we're going to trade up, and that this is our year. This is our year to get that last piece of the puzzle.
Yep.
That will help us get to the Super Bowl. We're 11-5 last year, and I'm thinking we should be better, and we should win more games than the 11-5. There's no sure thing, whether it's a first round pick or whatever. You got injuries, you got COVID, you got bad ref calls, you got a kicker that can't kick a field goal at the right time or whatever, or an extra point. All those things, fumbles that occur that shouldn't. But we have the offense. We've improved the defense considerably, and we still have one or two holes that would be great if we can get a plug and play player tonight that's an impact player. That's what I'm hoping for. If we pick at 26 at midnight, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Well, I want to give a quick shout out to some people that are in the chat. Welcome everybody back. I know we took a little bit of a postseason
hiatus, a
little break, I guess.
Yeah.
Everybody reset, making sure all the technology still worked and everything like that, getting ready to rock for this. We got Edward Rahr in the house. Ara is here. Troy Kozlowski, Cleveland BCI, Brent Woodell.
Gary, Washington.
Gary's in the house. What's going on, Gary? Fane Coca over there on Twitch is watching as well. So we're multi-streaming right now. So we got Fane who's asking if we want to have a guest chat tonight that you're here. So appreciate that. If wild things happen, who knows? Maybe we'll reach out and we'll give you guys a call and let you guys call into the show.
Yeah,
Maddie B's in the house. We also have Ristano on standby. So
yeah,
if something goes crazy,
we'll get our expert in here.
We'll get Mike in. Yeah,
EPF expert.
We'll get Mike in here. I can call Quincy as well and just be like, "Hey man, I'm gonna call you. We're live." Just to get it. If something crazy happens, if we just stay put at 26, then we stay put and we get our pick, and then that'll be that. Right. So.
Yeah, I reached out to a couple of friends that we had on last year for guests. That Mike Muhlenfeld, the Titans guy, he's busy. He couldn't join us tonight. Keith Ertel, the Buffalo Bills guy that we had on, he's traveling from Chicago back down to Southern Florida. And Steve Sullivan, the Ravens guy that invites me to the Ravens home game in Baltimore each year. He's traveling too, and so he couldn't make it. So hopefully we can get some other people to join us, especially if we get some surprises and people jump up and take players that other people wanted. Let's just keep our fingers crossed nobody takes who we want, and we've kept it pretty much under wraps. I have no idea. I mean, I think we're going to take a linebacker, and if we don't take a linebacker, I think we're going to take a cornerback. Because we need support in both of those areas, especially with people getting hurt and whatnot. So
New subscriber over there. Wait, thank you very much, Ara. Ara, I'm assuming Ara is joining over there on Twitch, I would assume. And the Skimmeister over there on Twitch as well. Welcome, Ray. Yeah, the way I look at it, my dad and I have been talking basically all day, going back and forth about what Ryan Burlow, what's up, man? About what's going on, what we think is going to happen. I do think a lot of quarterbacks are going to go quick. I think a lot of quarterbacks are going to go in the top 10, right?
Right.
And then it's going to be about how many more offensive players are going to be picked.
Yeah, the more the better.
Yeah, we're hoping for offensive players. I know that there's been some rumors flying around that there's potential that we might go wide receiver. If we go offense in the first round,
yeah, that's crazy.
Man, that's a giant mistake. We can score points, guys and girls. We can score them. We need to be able to shore up that defense and give Myles Garrett and Denzel and those guys as much support as possible. And you know what? Get some depth. As you were mentioning, Greedy Williams, we don't know if he's ever going to be back. Mary's in the house. What's going on, Mary?
Delpit has been a big question mark as well. So we got some players on the sideline. Mack, Wilson, another big question mark of whether he's going to step up and really play to his potential. So it's great to have those players there, but if they never show up, they have little impact on us. And not that we've wasted a draft. You never know whether somebody's going to recover from an injury or be able to play again after they get hurt. Yeah. A lot of guys get worse injuries and never come back.
The Greedy Williams thing, I mean, Greedy is still he's got nerve damage. I mean, every time we hear anything about that, it's like, he's either got to play or not. I mean, at this point, because if we draft others, Joe Thomas, Bernie Kosar's up there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's.
They got to bring in the Browns guys.
Let's see what these guys have to say.
There you go.
Come on. Jarvis up there.
If Jim Brown could walk, they'd have him up there too. But he's a little bit. He's 85 years old. He can barely walk.
Come on, Cleveland.
Yeah, they're booing you, Mr. Commissioner.
Yeah. They come out of my basement for nothing.
They're not burnt. Booing those two Browns guys up there.
They're not cheering for you, bro.
Yeah, that's for sure.
As you can see, I have a few friends here with me. Let me introduce them, even though they don't need to be introduced to Brownie fans.
Look at the size differential of those guys. Even Bernie's towers over.
Yeah, Bernie's almost the size of Joe Thomas, like height-wise.
Bernie Kosar.
Mr. Cleveland.
And Big Joe Thomas.
Big Joe Thomas.
We all agree that over the past season, one thing that we missed the most was all our fans, all of you. And we can't wait. Bernie. Think about it.
Bernie's getting old looking.
And we can't wait to have all of you back in First Energy Stadium.
Hey guys, is the sound okay? It's not
this season.
It's not giving you any feedback, is there? Let me know if there's feedback. I'll make some adjustments.
So tonight, to celebrate our fans, we're going to have an NFL fan from out here that's vaccinated come up to this stage for each draft pick tonight and sit in that chair, which is a chair I did the draft from in 2020.
Oh boy.
So I'm going to let Jarvis and Bernie pick the Jaguar fan who comes up first. Guys,
this is weird.
They're pick some hot gal out of the audience.
All right, we got a winner.
Oh, they did pick a woman.
We got a winner. Hang on one second.
Jaguar jersey.
Because I'm going to ask Joe Thomas give his little pregame speech and get you a little fired up before we start tonight.
Pick somebody, but then have them wait right there uncomfortably.
Because I forgot I had to give Joe the mic.
How about them Brownies, huh?
Yeah.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
Ooh.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. How about this night, Cleveland? Let's get this draft started.
Sound's starting to cut out. Okay.
Well, there's your fan for Trevor Lawrence. Oh,
She just sits there. This is so weird.
Takes up the whole seat.
Okay, Cleveland, it's time to get this rolling. You
Why do they
ready?
pick a Browns fan?
That guy.
Yeah, right.
The 2021 NFL draft is now officially open.
What if they are they going to hand the cards out? Or is she going to?
No, he's going to read it. She's going to stand next to him, I guess.
Why is this a thing? Dan, what's up? Is Urban Meyer wearing Yeezys? I can't tell. In Jacksonville.
A nice day in Florida. We're in Orlando. Beautiful day. A little humid, but better than being in Cleveland. I think it's rainy and cold there.
Now the Jags are gonna. Yeah, the Jags are gonna. They're gonna take all the time just because it's gonna. They can sell ads. What is this, like The Sims?
Good Lord.
This is weird.
I think all the rookie coaches last year did terrible, except for our guy, Stefanski. I mean, he not only did well, won Coach of the Year, got him in the playoffs, knocked off Pittsburgh twice. I mean, just unbelievable.
College or in high school, so he has been spectacular. And Mel Kiper, you have been doing this draft for 43 years. How close to the top does Trevor Lawrence rank amongst all the quarterbacks you've seen?
He's right up there, Greeny. Historically great. To see a kid come out of high school number one. Justin Fields was 1A, but Trevor was number one. And to see him maintain that grade throughout 3 years at Clemson, win a national title as a true freshman, that hadn't been done in 33 years. Jamel Holloway did it back in 1985. Look at these guys. John Elway, number one by miles that year. Even though we had 6 in the first round, it was clear cut. He was the guy, wins a couple Super Bowls, goes to 5. Peyton Manning, well, you had Ryan Leaf, but Peyton Manning won out, and he won Super Bowls. And then you had Andrew Luck. Well, you had RG3. Andrew Luck probably would have won maybe 1 or 2, but he retired at a young age. And now you have Trevor Lawrence, and at number 4, historical high grade for Trevor Lawrence. You think about where he is right now. And is there a debate? No. Some get a little cute. You know, I'm not going for that nonsense with Zach Wilson
Scheme
over
Meister
Trevor
asking
Lawrence.
us about what we think about Jadeveon Clowney.
Great. He's done it all.
I think Jadeveon Clowney is, at this point in his career, he's not going to be what everybody had hoped he was going to be when he came out. I think he's got tread left on the tire. He can be a force. He's definitely going to be somebody that they're going to have to respect, you know?
I think with Miles on the other side, you can't double team both of them. So when they double team Miles, he gets a free shot and vice versa. What better scenario to come to? A up and coming team with a great guy on the other side. So yeah, they paid him a lot of money. Most of it's guaranteed, I guess, for the 1 year. So it'll be interesting. Like I said, the first 4 games out of the box will tell us what we got, and I think we got plenty. I think we got teams are going to be scared of us. It'll be interesting to see who they put us up against, whether we have to play, Pittsburgh early or Baltimore early. I don't mind playing Cincinnati early, but or Denver, or we got to play the NFC Central, so we got to beat Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit. Detroit could be dangerous. I mean, but if we're ready to go out of the box with our talent second year under Stefanski, a second year for Baker with the same offensive coordinator, the same play calling, etc.
What's up, Brian?
So it's going to be interesting. We're going to be really waiting with bated breath for this season to begin. Thank God we don't have to play 4 exhibition games. They'll probably have it down to 2 and get the season going. And now we got a 17th game. We got Cardinals as our 17th game. Maybe it means something. Maybe it doesn't.
What pick do the Niners have? 3 or 4? They picked 3.
Yeah, they picked 3. They don't take one of these 2 quarterbacks. So, I'll fall off the chair.
I want to have like the draft tracker going here too as well. Draft tracker. There we go. So I can watch that. All right. There we go.
What are they, 10-minute rounds?
10 minutes in the end.
So we're halfway there.
It's so funny because it's just a foregone conclusion, right? They're like,
They usually
it's
are.
The
First pick is usually.
only when we were picking Baker, they didn't know. Remember
Yeah,
that? They
that's
were like,
true.
it was.
That's true.
Some people
They're
were
not
saying,
always, but usually they are.
I mean, usually you work out the contractor, like they're on the clock. They can do whatever they want. There's no drama to this. Everybody's known Trevor Lawrence is going to go number 1 for the.
Yeah, I wonder how
The
much
whole
money
year.
he's going to get.
He'll get the max, probably like,
Big sign-on bonus. Guaranteed.
yeah, something like that.
Number 3, guy in the slot. Number 3, running the.
Bum, bum, bum.
There at the corner. Again, route. Look, side safety.
Yeah, thank God we picked him up over Sam Darnold. That's for sure.
Ooh, for Trubinsky. I mean, look at the quarterbacks that have not panned out. Josh Allen has done well. Got to give him a lot of credit.
That's what you need to see. They take the.
Well, the great Susie Culver is with us tonight. She'll be interviewing the players
You wanna
as
listen
they
to what
are
these guys
being
are saying?
drafted. But Susie, I know you had a chance
Yeah, you don't
to
wanna
talk
listen
with
to us
Urban
all
as
night.
well. What did he say?
Yeah, and I checked in with him again just a little while ago. His feeling right now, he said, is overwhelming relief. After all, his love affair with Lawrence started 2 years ago. First time
More
he
than
saw him
anybody.
play in person, he was so impressed with his size and then his toughness. He saw him get speared, fight to come back in, rally his team to a win. He saw how his teammates respected him. That, he said, was seared in his soul. Now, with all that said, they still did their due diligence on 3 quarterbacks, but once they were sure Trevor was their guy, they went from indoctrination into actual installation. They have been installing the Jags offense with Trevor Lawrence since February. Once they got through the 5 Zooms, then everything has been on the phone, nothing in person, so it's all been by the book. Now, all that said, Myers said it doesn't guarantee that
He's not
Lawrence
wearing the
will be the
mask
day 1 starter. He doesn't believe in throwing a young quarterback to the Wolves. He watched what happened with Alex Smith, number 1 overall in 2005. Remember, he coached him at Utah. They talked almost every week. Smith got beat up in almost every imaginable way. He said that really scarred him as a coach. He will never let that happen to a young quarterback again. Adam?
Well, Susie, Trevor Lawrence wore number 16 at Clemson to honor his mother's favorite college player, Peyton Manning. And earlier this month at the Masters, Peyton Manning had a chance to bump into Trevor Lawrence, and they had a conversation in which Peyton Manning told Trevor Lawrence that the Jaguars head coach Urban Meyer needed to play him every play of every game so that he could break Peyton Manning's record. His record for most interceptions by a rookie, 28. So Peyton Manning is pulling for Trevor Lawrence to break that record, and he told him that much at the Masters this month, Brady.
It's such a funny story. And here, take a look at those jerseys, by the way, growing up, you will see it. Look at that. There he is. He's got the Tennessee jersey on there. But, Booger, you made a good point when you and I were talking yesterday, that there are similarities beyond this. All the expectations on Peyton, and he exceeded them. And Trevor Lawrence has done the same to this point.
Greeny, I can't think of a lot of people that have had the expectations at such a young age that those who had, and they've met or exceeded all those expectations. So there's no doubt, even though there's great expectations in Jacksonville, he will have every chance to succeed down there.
Yeah, and so as you can see on your screen, the pick is in, and I'm told the commissioner will be coming out to announce it shortly. It is a moment that we have all known was coming for quite some time. Again, tonight is a night that is going to change dramatically after pick number 2. This is something of a coronation for Trevor Lawrence here, and we have quite a good idea where the New York Jets will go after that. And then once we get to San Francisco at 3 and Atlanta at 4, the tone of the night will change. But in Jacksonville, they are excited. Urban Meyer made this decision just to come back and coach this player. And so let us watch a new era of pro football begin in Jacksonville. One of the most highly decorated college quarterbacks of all time. One of the most anticipated college quarterbacks of all time on his way to the NFL. And Roger Goodell on his way to the microphone.
Don't even just ignore him.
The pick.
If anybody like that comes back, they'll just be banned right away.
The fan is in the easy chair, and Roger Goodell is ready to announce the first pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. Here we go.
For those who love peanut butter and those who want to get married to peanut butter, I now pronounce you
2021 NFL Draft.
New Ultimate.
Jacksonville Jaguars select
Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence, standing at 6'6".
I think that was a double.
This is the top quarterback of this year's draft class and the top player in this year's draft class. He demonstrates all of the traits that you need to use.
Again, it was much more of a coronation than a competition for Trevor Lawrence. And still the moment has to be overwhelming.
Actually, I won't look at the draft.
He is in Seneca, South Carolina, 7 miles from the campus
showing me that
of Clemson University, where he became a legend. And now one of the great college quarterbacks ever, and one of the great college coaches ever, take their talents to the NFL together. It should be fascinating to watch. A new era in Jacksonville begins. All right, next up, the Jets, Jets for their fans. This
Anytime they come back, I'll
is
ban
always an adventure. But they had a decision to make this time around before they had a decision to make. And by that, of course, I mean they had a quarterback. They drafted just 3 years ago. They could have chosen to build around, and as you well know by now, they
just gave up on
Sam Darnold traded to Carolina. Mel, one last time as we see what they got back for him. One last time. Was that the right decision the Jets made?
I didn't agree with it, Greeny. I would have stuck with Sam Darnold. I had Josh Allen ahead of Sam Darnold when they came out into the draft out of the collegiate ranks. Sam, obviously, turnovers were an issue at USC. Could he fix that? Well, not necessarily, because he didn't have the talent around him. But last 4 games of 2018, 6 touchdowns, 1 pick. He was at 64%. Last 9 games of 2019, 14 touchdowns, 5 picks. Last 5 games this past year, 6 touchdowns, 3 picks against 5 playoff teams. You think about Sam Darnold, I think the best is yet to come. He's 23 years of age. He went through trials and tribulations with the Jets, who didn't support him with the kind of talent. Joe Douglas, I think, would have done that. You had the second pick, the 49ers to move down and help Sam Darnold. They opted, I think, a sideways move. I had a higher grade on Darnold coming out than I do on Zach Wilson. I like Zach, but I had a higher grade on Sam. I would have stuck with Sam. They didn't. Joe Douglas fell in love with that arm talent. He said, hey, we're picking 3. We're keeping Sam. But he loves Zach Wilson. And I think that arm talent, that ability that people say is like Mahomes-like, I'm not buying. But the improvement he showed, guys, this year from 2019 and 2018 was incredible. He went from being a guy who was turning it over, not sensing pressure, bad interceptions, fumbles, to being flawless from the get-go. And I said all year, cupcake after cupcake, sugar levels through the roof, but the inferior competition did allow him to get confidence early. He maintained that. Think about it. Faced no Power 5 opponents. 2 ranked teams, Boise State and Coastal Carolina, were 21-14. He was 3-4 with 9 touchdowns, 5 picks against Power 5 and ranked opponents in his career. But that ability to make every throw go that off-platform, arm angles that Mahomes like. He was a basketball player.
They were saying that he's got a really bad.
Points a game. Look at him there. Athletically,
we're watching the ESPN
phenomenal year. He went from 62% completion percentage in 2019 to 73% 35 this year, from 11 touchdown passes to 33.
He's not that.
Rusher
They're
almost
saying against like
300
teams
yards.
like
That
winning
is an
teams, he had a really
incredible
bad
turnaround.
record,
He had
a lot of
shoulder surgery going
interceptions.
into 2019, didn't play well that year. Now
A
as
lot.
a healthy quarterback with an inferior schedule and a lot of talent around him at BYU, he lit it up. And Joe Douglas said, hey, I want to reset the clock. I'm taking Zach Wilson. I'm moving Sam Darnold. These two are going to be judged together. Sam's 23 years of age. He's the same age as Kyle Trask, quarterback Florida, who's in this draft.
Yeah, so look, the pressure.
I don't really care if they get a strike or not. I don't monetize the channel.
He's from Draper, Utah, and now
They'll hit it.
And I know, Booger, you had a chance
but
to talk to
they
Mark
won't-
Sanchez about being in a
they won't
similar
strike the
situation.
channel.
Yeah, and Mark Sanchez went from L.A. to New York, so it wasn't a draft.
When you
change,
turn on
it
the
was a
monetization,
shock.
that's when
He
you can
used
get in
that
trouble
word.
with this
It was
stuff,
a shock
but-
for him to go from L.A. to New York. So you imagine what it is
Makes
from
no
a kid
difference
from
to me.
Draper, Utah, that played in Provo. Nothing against the people in Provo. I'm sure you're lovely people. The media is nice, but I've got one thing for you. It's not the media in New York. So how does he deal with that? How does the supporting cast, the coaching staff, the PR person, how do they make sure this kid is comfortable? Because if it's not, he's going to have to deal with the paparazzi, the back page, everything besides playing the quarterback position for the New York Jets, and that will be most important.
Let's talk about playing, and particularly playing.
He looks like he's 16 years old.
How do you like the fit?
Oh, I love the fit. I can understand why Joe Douglas fell in love with him because
There was a meme that he was like, they had a picture of him with a suit and it had like the Disney Channel logo next to him.
I think we're
He
on to
looks like
something
he's
here.
like
Look, this is
14.
pro day. Remember, everybody got all excited about these different kind of throws, this roll left and throw right back across his body, across the field. Well, I'll tell you why you should really be excited about this. Not because Zach Wilson did this in a pro day,
It's great,
but
but it's
because
a pro day.
in a Mike LaFleur designed offense that he learned from Kyle Shanahan, who learned it from his dad, Mike Shanahan. This is Matt LaFleur
Ryan Brown?
running it in Green Bay. You see here, the hard play action, roll left, throw back right. Now, why does this work? Because you see everybody's moving left. The defense thinks the ball's going to be thrown left on some kind of flood concept, and they throw it back across the field. Aaron Rodgers throws it beautifully. Out there in San Francisco, you're going to see Jimmy Garoppolo do it. So just when you think a guy like Mac Jones can't run this kind of offense, yeah, he can. Why? Because you see Jimmy Garoppolo doing it right here. Hard play action, roll back left. Here you're going to see George Kittle. Looks like he's going to the 7 route to the corner. No, he's not. He's going to break it back across the field. Jimmy stops, puts it on him beautifully. That's why you fall in love with Zach Wilson, because you go, hey, Mike LaFleur, are you going to design some of those plays? Because if you're designing that, our quarterback's going to kill it. Because he showed all I need to do is go bing, and it's out of there. So that's why people fall in love with quarterbacks, and that's why if you're a Jets fan, you should be excited about this.
And I'll
pick.
say this, Joe Douglas, GM of the Jets, will draft well. They had a good scouting staff. They will surround Zach Wilson with the pieces necessary. It's a shame Sam never had that. But he's going to get it in Carolina with that rule. I think it's probably good for both. The trade's supposed to benefit
It's very
both
optimistic
teams.
from Mel
Carolina
Kiper.
does well
They're
with Sam.
going to
The
put the
Jets hope
pieces
that Zach
around
Wilson
Zach
with better
Wilson.
talent around
They
him than
weren't
Sam had
willing to
will
put the
really
pieces
prosper
around
in New York.
Sam
No
Darnold.
big stages, no big games. That
But
was in
they
the Big Apple.
will
We'll see how
put
he
it
handles
around Zach Wilson.
Resetting the contract has become a huge part of the decisions the teams are making in this day and age as well, and that feels like it's a big part of it here. But this one has been a foregone conclusion for quite some time, but the fans in New York get a chance to cheer for their new savior. For the second time in 4 seasons, the New York Jets will draft the quarterback in the top 3 selections of the NFL draft.
What did he do?
Now
he
got up, did nothing. Now he's going to sit the whole time. They had figured
With the
this out.
second pick in the 2021
Didn't he say
NFL
that
Draft, the New York Jets select Zach Wilson.
Didn't he say that they were going to
BYU.
they're going to let the fan announce the pick? But you know what would have been weird is like, what if they had these guys have this like
so
really weird
Broadway has
names?
a new star.
They like Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence, no problem. When you start getting into the crazy names,
hope they have finally found the man to take them back to the top, and he is so excited.
We've heard it once, we've heard it
man.
100
his name
times.
was called. He's already made his way to the stage. Zach Wilson being introduced to the fans, and the Jet fans get their first chance to see their new star. By the way, he's the first BYU quarterback to go in round 1 since Jim McMahon in 1982. You're wondering
It's a
about
lot of
Steve
human
Young. He went down to
touching
one of the
right now. It's very
supplemental
odd to
games.
see
And
that
there
level
it
of
is, the
touching,
first
hugging,
of this night. There will be
breathing
more.
on each other.
Again, safety has been taken into account. The
Yeah, the
commissioner
fan is
has
the
been
mascot.
vaccinated. Everyone in the green room
They're talking
has
about
been
it. He's
tested. So we will see
vaccinated,
the
okay.
players hugging Roger Goodell tonight, which which is something that I know a lot of them missed. And so, Lewis, again, the lights will be bright on Broadway for a young man from Draper, Utah. That will have to be managed.
No question about it. Look, now the clock really starts ticking. Okay, now you're off the draft clock. Now is where you really, as an organization, put your stamp on young men like Zach Wilson as far as determining whether or not they're going to be successful.
There couldn't be any more than what we had experienced.
Scouts want to believe that they can see things
year
that the rest of the world can't see.
So San Francisco's taking a quarterback. We know that's going to happen.
As good as you are as a scout, coaches and the player support program, the player development program,
we
are
know
really
they're
the
taking
ones
a quarterback,
who make or break these individuals in combination with what they are made up of inside. So, Mel, look, you hit it on the head. Joe Douglas, you're on the clock. Robert Saleh, you're on the clock. Mike LaFleur, you're on the clock. And Zach Wilson, so are you, because they are going to surround him with a lot of help. They will get some offensive linemen and protect him. They have some nice pieces on the perimeter already, and they're going to add some more. This kid is a phenomenal talent, and he's got a support structure that your guy Sam Darnold, you're right, never had.
And you got to love him for this reason,
like, come on,
guys,
take a
because
picture.
you had the second pick.
Goodell, here's my
you got
phone.
the second pick. You got Kyle Pitts. You got Jamar Chase. You got Devontae Smith. You got a big-time weapon for your quarterback. Now you don't have that, but you got Zach Wilson.
Mel Snickers takes us down now to Susie, who's standing by with Zach Wilson. Susie?
Well, the marriage between Zach Wilson and the Jets seemed like a done deal since your pro day in late March.
Joshua, I don't
Zach,
know if
when
anybody,
did you know for
anybody
sure
else in chat
that you
have
were a
any,
New York Jet?
any.
You know what? I wouldn't believe it until the day it
issues.
happened. But this is exactly what I was hoping for. I'm so excited for the opportunity, and I know we're gonna have something special. And so I can't wait to get to work.
It's been so long since we saw a player here take that walk. And then
see, like that's the most
Jets
thing, though.
Can you describe what that's like
Aura,
for you?
You know, talking about
the whole situation
talking
is
about
still
the fact
so
that
surreal
Justin
for me.
Fields was there.
I'm soaking in every moment. I'm looking around
and what
and
he
this
what
is
he
a
can
blast.
do.
This is a dream come true for
Yet
me.
they
Zach,
choose
New York, it's a big
Zach
stage.
Wilson.
What is it about your
It is a Jets thing to do.
He
is a guy that could bust. You know who reminds me of?
These guys need a good
Jimmy
quarterback, a good leader.
Remember
and
him
I think I got
from
those
Notre Dame?
qualities, and I can't wait
Everybody's
to go in
like,
there.
he's so
I love the
NFL
coaching
ready,
staff.
and
I
he's
love
so
everything they
ready
have
to
offer, and I
rock.
can't wait to get to New York City.
Zach,
Kind of reminds me
Thank
of
you
Zach
so much.
Wilson. I could be completely wrong, guys. I don't know. I was really wrong
There's
about.
the family backstage.
I was really wrong
Once
about
again, it is a large
Stefanski,
family.
so.
His grandparents have 36
Is it a
grandchildren,
racial
so
thing?
that is a lot of
No,
tickets
the Jets
that they're
have
going to be
black
needing to these
quarterbacks
games.
before.
And there was the Jet draft room as
I
they
don't
were
think that-
reacting as they make their first pick.
I can't
Again,
imagine
they will have
there's
another
any
first-round
NFL
pick tonight,
team at
currently
this
sitting
point
at
who would have
23,
like a
and rumors they
problem
may be
with,
trying to trade up. And so we shall see.
drafting
Again, they
a
have
quarterback
drafted a
that's not
lot
really
of
white.
quarterbacks over the years. You see Namath at the top. That was not the common draft era. So Zach Wilson actually is the highest drafted quarterback they've ever had in the common draft era. You see, Donald, we know the disaster that turned into Sanchez and some of the other names. So on we go. The Jets have their new quarterback. And so now
I don't know who Richard Todd
the
is.
plot
Ken O'Brien.
thickens.
Remember, I was
we
a
go
kid
from
for
the
Ken
part of the
O'Brien.
evening where we thought we knew everything to the part where we don't really
they
think
drafted
we
Ken
know
O'Brien.
anything.
They
This
drafted
is
him
how
over
we
Dan
got
Marino.
here. The third pick in this draft originally belonged to the Miami Dolphins, who had gotten it from the Houston Texans. Now it belongs to the San Francisco 49ers, who traded a lot. You see on your screen
Okay, so
just
they
how
traded
much they traded to move up
this
to
year's
that
first-round
spot.
draft pick, which is the swap.
And every
Then
assumption
they're giving up
was,
this
if you're
first-round
giving
pick
up that much
next
to move up to 3, you have to know who you're going to get. And yet, we find ourselves in a place today where it is very much unclear.
Well, they're clapping.
Even now,
So they're
3
happy
minutes
about
before
they're
this
happy
pick
about
has to be
giving up
where it's great
the world.
uncertainty whether they will take the quarterback Mac Jones
Is it
from
Justin
Alabama
Fields?
or Trey Lance from North Dakota
It's
State.
not Lance.
What are your thoughts?
It's a
It
mystery
could be
of
Mac
this draft.
Jones.
And
I
the
think it's
reason
gonna be-
why
I think
said
it's
that
Mac
August, Bree,
Jones
is
or
because
it's Justin
we didn't
Fields.
have a normal season. We didn't have a combine workout. We had Trey Lance play one football game at the 1AA level against Central Arkansas on October 3rd. They struggled throwing the football. in that
He
game.
played
15
one
to 30,
football
but he
game
brought
at
his team
one
back,
double
running the
A
ball
level.
with his legs, showing that athleticism. Mac Jones came out of nowhere this year. We knew he was pretty good late last year, but this was his first year as a full-time starter, and he lit it up. So then you think about Justin Fields, the forgotten quarterback.
He doesn't look like he got the call.
He's being talked about as the 5th quarterback off
They
the
were all-
board. I
he
think
doesn't
could
look
be
like
one of
he
the
had-
best
he got
in
the
this
call.
draft
He
class.
doesn't-
So, like I said, we're all over the
Fields
place
doesn't look
here
like
with
he got the
quarterbacks
call
in the
either.
rankings
He's
after
looking at his
Trevor
phone.
Lawrence.
Am I going to
think
San
when you look
Francisco?
at it, fascinating to see.
So maybe
Do
it's
they
Trey
take
Lance.
Mac Jones? Do they take Trey Lance? That's been the debate all along. Where does it end up tonight?
Booger, I know you've had some concerns about Mac Jones throughout
Mac
the process.
Jones didn't get the call, and it did not look like Justin Fields had gotten the call yet. Typically, with 2 minutes, the coach is calling. It ain't going those guys. So we're looking at Trey Lance, guys.
That's what Mac Jones doesn't bring, because inevitably, Greeny, defenses
But they
have been
didn't
playing
show Trey
11 on
Lance
10
either,
over
so
the years.
maybe he has
Now,
nothing.
can you
I
make
don't
it 11 on 11? Simple bootleg. This is a part of the play action
Kyle
offense.
Trask.
Can the quarterback get outside? Do you have enough foot speed? There we see Mac Jones didn't. Now that's a dead play.
No, he looked nervous. He didn't look like a guy who's going to get like $18 million.
Every play. Can you get out? Can you get those free yards?
I wonder if Mac Jones
give up? That's what you're missing when you draft Mac Jones. I
wonder if Mac Jones, if he doesn't get drafted here, how far he slips.
But at some point, the
because
NFL
Mac Jones,
is giving away free
with
yards
those
to the
DUIs.
quarterback who's athletic, and Mac Jones doesn't provide that.
Actually,
Look, he doesn't provide it. What he does provide, though, is quick decision making. He provides you someone who does give you a lot of options at the line of scrimmage in terms of play selection, but he can't give you the off-schedule plays, and you're absolutely right. And that's where Trey Lance comes into play here, on top of the fact that everyone at North Dakota State will tell you this. Oh, but guess what?
Yeah,
he can process is better, if not as well, if not better than anyone in this draft class. And he's still learning. He has probably the highest ceiling. I know coaches will say he may have the lowest floor. He may be the biggest boom or bust here. But I think that's what you're paid to do. You're paid to make sure that he booms and doesn't bust. And you know what? I would bet my money on Trey Lance not busting. Why? Because this guy is wired right. You won't find a single person say a bad thing really about him. And he is going to be a superstar.
If the pick is Lance,
the pick is
it
in
will be
here.
one of the great stories in the history of the draft, yes?
I agree. Most fascinating player at any position I've ever played. You think about game management skills, only one interception over 17 starts. You think about his smarts, how cerebral he is.
Let me know if that's okay, Ara.
You need a bridge. You need to sit, watch, learn Trey Lance, and the bridge could be Jimmy Garoppolo.
This is the moment that all of us who host talk shows and football fans across the country have been waiting
I bet you the
for.
San Francisco fans are going to want Justin Fields.
Goodell has the card in his hand. The San Francisco 49ers have made their decision.
Oh, the sound balance good now? Okay, good.
Will it be Trey Lance?
This is the first time I did it because I've got like the microphone here and I'm not listening through my headset, so I'd be able to balance it easier. Can't hear it.
With the third pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Trey Lance.
Oh, they did take Trey
Dakota
Lance.
State.
You were right.
They did not want Justin Fields.
And they didn't want Jones.
They didn't want Mac Jones. They moved up for Trey Lance.
We got a connection here. It's a slight connection in that he's from North Dakota State, and
yeah, a guy that was backup quarterback that we had been fans of through a family connection is now at North Dakota State. He's going to probably take over for him, which could be exciting.
Yeah, Quincy Patterson, or not Quincy Patterson. Yeah, is the kid who was at Virginia Tech. And we followed him. He had a couple of great games for Virginia Tech, but he just couldn't stay in the starting spotlight. And he decided to transfer, and he's trying to take this kid's place at North Dakota State. So it'll be interesting to watch him and see how he does.
He doesn't have socks on. You're right. Eric says, do linebacker or cornerback. I agree. I'll take cornerback or linebacker. Totally happy with that.
Right.
Everybody's looking for the next Mahomes. Yeah, but Pat Mahomes had good bloodlines with his dad, Major League Baseball player. I mean, he actually played Division I.
Accuracy is something he's going to need to continue to work on. But when you think of Kyle Shanahan's offense, as far as
6'3" and 7/8
type of offense, he is going to thrive. Okay, here you see it. Now you see right here the ability to create, the ability to move left, go back right.
I mean, I could have completed that pass.
Here again, that play action fake out of the gun, and then launch a post route.
That's a nice pass.
And just put it over the
But I feel like all college quarterbacks do that.
He didn't play against real stiff competition.
Yeah, he played against arena league football players.
Almost.
I had never heard of North Dakota State before this guy.
The quarterback power, the quarterback counter.
I'm at work watching the live.
Get a couple yards and hit the dirt. No, you see him right here. He's dipping his shoulder and he's running fulls over.
Yeah, there's a chance we can get in trouble for this.
Defensive backs, when number 5 gets on the field, Be ready. He's not trying to run out of bounds. He's trying to embarrass you.
Cool.
What
Trey
a
Lance.
Perfect fit for this young man.
And to your point, it fits so well. Of all the
Okay, so now the interesting stuff happens.
Absolutely.
Because now that Justin Fields is still
There
there.
could be a trade up. It could be a trade down. This could upset the apple cart with this pick. So
He's good, but it's a little tape. You're right, and like I don't think that they needed to trade up to 3 to get him.
I agree.
I think they could have got Trey Lance later on.
Trading up to get Trubinsky.
Right.
That didn't work out very well.
John Elway beat you with his legs. An athlete. Great arm strength coming out of Stanford. Think about Steve Young. Same type
Skills
of thing.
over
And now you had Trey
technique, says
Lance coming
Fame.
there. Yeah, that
Falcons take Fields. I don't think they're going to take Fields.
This is either going to be a trade or they could. I mean, they
Kyle
should
Pitts.
go defense. They
Kyle
should
Pitts.
go defense
Yeah.
here.
Linebacker from Penn State, huge. I mean, there's really plug and play
Kyle
players.
Pitts is. I think he's a generational type tight end though. He's not like he's not like your average first round tight end. This is a guy who's going to make an impact. He's going to catch, 5-6 touchdowns minimum his rookie year. Kyle Pitts.
So what do you do with Garoppolo when you got him?
Well,
you give it to him, or you sit him on the bench with your third pick that you traded up to get, so you can sit him on the bench for a year and wait for Garoppolo to get hurt again.
You got to assume that Jimmy Garoppolo is going back to New England.
Belichick would welcome him with open arms.
Super exciting. Like I said, I'm super excited to be part of the organization. For me and Matt, we're good friends now. We got to know each other, and I'm super excited for him. And he's going to end up right where he's supposed to be.
What did you feel like the conversations were like with Kyle Shanahan?
It was awesome to get to know Coach Shanahan a little bit. Didn't get to know him too much, but he's an awesome dude. And obviously,
Pitt is in Joku, which is great
I'm
for
sure
him.
the next conversation will be
Mike,
Jimmy
you're going to be
Garoppolo.
live to the Browns
What would
pick.
you
Yes, I
like
will.
him to know right now?
We're live all night, whole first round.
Unless we trade down to like 57 or something.
If we trade out of if they're like,
we're done.
The Browns have announced
I'm going
at
to
26 that they have traded out of the first round, then we will cut it.
That would shock me. I don't think Andrew Berry would do that. So I'm waiting for the trade. I'm waiting for the trade.
Pastorini.
Jim Plunkett. Jim Plunkett. Pastorini, yeah. Him. Boy, Tim.
He looks like he's like caught in a deer in headlights in
Billy
that picture.
Smith. Where's the Billy Smith now? Doesn't exist anymore.
No.
There was a lot of talk today on Twitter, Adam Schefter and others tweeting about the possibilities of the 49ers trading Jimmy Garoppolo. Now that they've taken Trey Lance, do you
They lost all their leverage.
Are you doing 2 and 3 tomorrow? I'm going to.
Yeah, I'll probably do. I'll definitely do 2. I don't know if I'll do 3.
I'm going to Delaware tomorrow, so in the car, 2-day trip to get to Bethany Beach. So I will be following on my phone and listening, maybe from the hotel room tomorrow night where we're staying.
We'll do that. The Falcons on the clock. It seems they have 3 options. One of them would be to trade out. It does not appear they've done that, as the pick is already in.
Oh, okay. So no trade at 4.
Who would be the heir apparent to Matt Ryan, or to go a different direction.
Yeah, they could draft if you're the Falcons.
But considering the needs that they have,
But Matt Ryan's he's not 40 years old. He's like 35 or how old is Matt Ryan?
I'm trying to get some picks, and I'm trying to build this team long term. I don't know what quarterback they had earmarked as maybe being the guy that would.
Matt Ryan's 35.
He's up there.
He's up there, but like he's got a couple years left. I guess if they draft a quarterback here, then they're just really not interested in trying to rebuild around.
I'll be
Matt
surprised.
Ryan.
I'll be surprised if it's a quarterback by the Falcons.
Okay, now what happens with the fan? Is he gonna give him a high five? Is he gonna wave the card in front of his face?
We're about to find out. The Falcon fan is getting out of the chair, and Roger Goodell is getting ready to read.
Just stay there, buddy. Just stay there.
This is the weirdest thing ever.
With the 4th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Kyle Pitts,
Yeah.
Florida.
There you go.
That one is not a surprise. Louis Riddick, I think if you were to poll all of the people who talk
I don't
about
think
the draft for
he
living,
fits a
the one thing
need.
they can all
You
agree
need a
on is
tight
that
end
this
that
kid
badly?
cannot miss what makes him so good.
Look, he's just a matchup nightmare, Greeny. You don't have linebackers that are 6'6", 240 who run 4.3, and you darn sure don't have safeties that are that big. So when you're talking about the matchup issue, just think about it like this. Look at this, backside of 3-by-1. I call this Trey when it's the tight end who's by himself on the backside. They have a
I can't believe the 49ers gave up that much to go up and get Trey Lance. Now, watch Trey Lance be amazing. But he doesn't, I don't think he's got enough experience to be able to bet that much.
If they keep Garoppolo, imagine the angst that's going to start right at training camp between those two. Not so much them personally, but the press is going to be all over him. Garoppolo.
Well, you're creating a quarterback controversy too, because you're creating it like if Garoppolo gets off to a bad start, everybody's going to want
bring in the rookie, and maybe you bring him in too early so he doesn't succeed. But like you and I were talking earlier, San Francisco's got a pretty good offense, a pretty good defense. The missing part is a consistent quarterback, and when Garoppolo is on, he is as good as anybody. So
yeah, Garoppolo's not a bad quarterback. I just think like he's not a great quarterback, but he's not bad. But he also like doesn't have that much experience. I think it was like really the Super Bowl when they lost the Super Bowl. And they looked at it and they're like, we can't win with this guy. Like he's not the answer for us. And I don't think they gave up a lot to get him. They just paid him a lot of money. But quarterbacks cost a lot of money.
And they can trade him to somebody and get something decent. But then it falls on the shoulders of the rookie. And
yeah, Shanahan's betting. I mean, he's betting his career on this dude.
Who does Cincinnati take?
They got to go offensive line. They got to go offense. If they take Jamar Chase.
And you wonder, Boog, had Trey Lance been there, what the decision would have made. That would have been really intriguing, but Trey Lance is gone. I will say this, when you look at Kyle Pitts, you think about Darren Waller, former wide receiver, Georgia Tech, right? He found a home. He's with the Raiders, and he's lighting it up. He's uncoverable. Okay, they can look at that as a blueprint to say this is how you use a guy with Darren Waller type skills and Kyle Pitts, way the Raiders and John Gruden are utilizing with Derek Carr.
Absolutely. Come on, somebody do a. Well, there's your first offensive player. Your tight end. This is going to be an offensive lineman, so that's two guys.
Well, you assume, but he's going to be an offensive player. I don't think we're getting to a defensive player until Patrick Surtain comes off the board to Dallas at.
I think
10.
everyone agrees that Kyle Pitts is one of the best players in the draft of any position. But who'd be lucky enough to get you? So what was it like the moment you got that call?
I felt very excited.
I've been waiting for that call my whole life. And when I seen my phone ring, it just
Cincinnati will draft Fields.
Step one into the right direction. So I can't wait to get to Atlanta and start a new journey.
From head coach Dan Mullen to Armel Kiper Jr., they call you a unicorn.
Chase? You think they could take Chase?
Now, what do you
I think they could. I think they
in
could.
the NFL?
I hope to accomplish a
You
lot.
got to give Burrow some weapons.
He's got weapons. You got to make sure he doesn't blow out his knee again.
Well,
Congratulations.
You can't do anything. Well, yeah, true. If you get a lineman that can protect him.
We're off to a fast start. The quarterbacks went 1, 2, and 3 as expected. There are still 2 more waiting to hear their names called, and plenty more. We're just getting started. We continue.
So, question: how far does Fields fall, and how far does Mac Jones fall? That's really,
Mac Jones got to be sweating right now.
Yeah, he's there. He's at the draft thinking that.
How far does Justin Fields drop?
I think they can go in the 20s.
I don't want to see Justin Fields in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that'd be interesting if he falls that far.
If he fell that far, though, I could see Pittsburgh going, you know what? Let's go for it. But if they re-sign Mason Rudolph and they have Dwayne Haskins and they've got Ben, I don't think they're drafting a quarterback in the first round.
It's always tough having to say they're waiting for Ben to fall over and have to be carted off the field. throw 8 interceptions in a row or whatever.
made the
They're going to give him all the latitude that he deserves. I mean, he's been a great quarterback for them for a long time, won a lot of games for them. So you give him the benefit of the doubt. You don't hire, you don't draft some rookie that's going to put additional pressure on him if he has a mediocre 1 or 2 games starting out. Hell, they were 11-0 last year before they finally lost, but they had an easy schedule. I think they didn't. The first loss was a bad loss to Buffalo, and then we knew the bloom was off the rose, and we knew that Pittsburgh could be beat from that point on, and they really struggled, and we saw it firsthand, back to back at the end of the season, and we got those 2 monkeys off our back into this year. So.
All right, so we got some questions in. Sweet Lou says, got to tell you, been a Browns fan 1975, starting to feel that 80s type magic may finally be returning. I also love your channel. You guys do both great job repping our team.
Thank you.
You guys are great. Thanks, Sweet Lou. Appreciate it, man. Washington football team is my prediction for Fields. That would be interesting. If Washington would, why not? I can see Washington doing that.
Anything's possible.
Because who does Washington have right now? They've got Heineke and who else do they have?
Why wouldn't they let Alex Smith be the backup if they were, with his injury, he can come in for a game, whatever, and see if he can continue to go. But
Washington doesn't pick till 19.
Yeah,
guys.
But they could, both of them, Mac Jones and Fields could fall that far.
Let's look at Washington football team.
Who's after the Bengals, Mike? Who's 6?
Dolphins.
Well, they're not going with a quarterback. They're going to take. I think they'll take the. I think the Dolphins are going to take the linebacker from Penn State. I think they
maybe.
Yeah, I think they knew that all along. They get the draft picks out of the 49ers. They go down.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is on Washington now.
Yeah.
I knew they got some
patchwork. I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean he's not the answer.
He plays great at times, and then other times he's a very mediocre quarterback. So I mean,
thanks, Red Dragon.
The consistency is with Fitzpatrick. Although he had a very good season last year, and he wins a game, and they pull him out, and they put Tua in. I mean, talk about insult to injury. I mean.
We saw Joe Burrow, his knee was going the wrong way. You have to protect your franchise quarterback. They have to take an offensive lineman.
There are 2 of them tonight.
Yeah, Panthers have Sam Darnold. So Panthers are good. Dolphins take Sewell if the Bengals go Chase. I could see that. I could absolutely see that.
Absolutely, no surprises. Lance was a little bit of a surprise, but so far, nothing to write home about.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised about Trey Lance.
But this is where it gets interesting, because potential guys that would be great for us are going to be picked clean at this point for the next 10 picks. And yeah, leave that guy sitting in the chair.
In Cincinnati, we will find out right now. Here comes Roger Goodell with pick number 5.
It's so weird.
With the 5th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Jamar Chase, wide receiver, LSU.
Wow. Look, he's a terrific
player.
Let's
Clean.
start with that, Booger. Before
white on white.
Feelings, many people will feel the same way. They should get protection for Joe Burrow, and maybe as the draft goes on, they will. But you know better than anybody from LSU, this is a special receiver.
Well, he's a special receiver. He's an ex-receiver. You can put him out there against the best DBs in the NFL and say, hey, I'm not going to run motion for you. I'm not going to do anything. It's going to be one-on-one.
I guess that makes sense.
He can do it all.
But they have a terrible offensive line.
He is absolutely fast.
They're not re-signing their center, the guy that they drafted. They've got. Do they still have Bobby Hart? I mean, they have a terrible offensive line.
Surtain, we think is going to be the first DB taken. Look at the separation on an inside slant route against Surtain. So you have the speed. Now you have the route running ability.
Yes.
But the thing that I love,
Surtain didn't look good on that play.
Yeah, but is this guy better than the two Alabama wide receivers? They could have gone with them.
I think he's got the body. I think he's got the size.
On top of the defender's head, give me that ball. That's my ball. So he's everything you want in a number one receiver. It's an interesting.
Yeah, he reminds me of like a Julio Jones. He's just big.
Circumstances. Mel, last year, many people thought that was the best top of the receiver class we had ever seen. If Jamar Chase had been in that class, where would he have been?
Well, I guess Joe Burrow's happy because he has another weapon to throw to, but
what do you want? You want a left tackle that can block for you or a wide receiver that can catch for you?
I mean, personally, I'd probably start with you got to build on the offensive line first.
Absolutely. You can't throw the ball if you don't have time.
They can't make him throw the ball 60
and he's
times.
been hurt once. If he got through the first season okay, then you say, well, maybe he's durable, blah, blah, blah. But no, he got locked up in a tackle in the pocket, went down awkwardly, and they had to carry him off the field.
And it was devastating knee surgery. It wasn't like he broke a leg and it was devastating knee surgery.
Yeah, major. You don't see him running like Odell Beckham on the treadmill.
No,
I haven't seen him.
No, you see him sitting, or slowly.
They say he's on track, but got a couple of months to go yet.
They went
Odell
out,
was going full blast on that treadmill.
I think the thing is, unless you're getting like Randy Moss or Calvin Johnson or a literal, you cannot miss. This guy is a Julio Jones. I just don't know enough about
and if you need
Jamar Chase to know that he's guaranteed going to be that guy.
And if you need a wide receiver, why don't you go out and I don't know who was a free agent wide receiver this year that they could have picked up, and then you're getting a quality player in the NFL. He's an unknown quantity. Could turn out to be great.
Watch AJ Brown. He can do the same thing again. Although he's bigger, he can win this way too. That stutter go is not as nice as the one Jamar ran, but nevertheless, it still has the same effect.
Yeah, it was an ugly stutter go.
I have no idea who the Giants are going to take. I haven't really followed them all that much. Although they say Barkley is on a pretty good path to.
Barkley will be back.
Will be back, so they'll have their running back again. And Daniel Jones is an okay quarterback. He makes stupid mistakes from time to time, but he's had some pretty good games with a weak Giant offense. So. Maybe they'll do something. They're in a terrible division. Anybody, Dallas, Washington, Philadelphia, can win that. 8-8, they can win it. They almost made it, with a losing record this past year. So they're fighting with each other. So it won't take much to win that division.
Being out here with my family, experiencing having this good experience. But for the most part, I can't wait to.
I mean, you're right. The chemistry is absolutely there.
All right, so now you're reunited with Joe Burrow, such amazing
got shut
production.
down on YouTube.
What do you need to do to be able to reach that type of production at the next level?
Yeah, I need to keep the same mindset that I
Oh no,
always
it did.
have,
It did shut us off.
Keep being competitive, and I think that'll take me a long way.
We're done.
Congratulations.
Well, I don't know what it said. Wonder how long the backup stream would take.
Why would they do that?
Probably because we're streaming this.
Why that is. In their 26 games together, they were remarkably